Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 264 of the Orange Pill Investor. And today I want to talk about something that a YouTube commenter put me onto. I thought I was pretty comfortable, selling options, wheel strategy, but this guy showed me something that I had never seen before related to margin and buying power. And so over the last month or so ahead of this earnings, I've been trying to increase my buying power, reduce some of my margin. I think I had about $150,000 worth of margin use. And one thing that Tasty Trade is going to do, I'm anticipating on Monday morning, waking up to like half to three quarters of this buying power disappearing because they're going to change their algorithm. And it kind of makes sense. Maybe it's to protect themselves, but also to protect their customers. Because if MSTR takes a dump down to 150, then I could get completely uh, wrecked. And a company that doesn't want its clients to get wrecked uh, probably is wise to do this. But it came as a bit of a shock to me last quarter when it happened. I thought I had a pretty healthy, like 70, 80 grand worth of buying power. 3 days before earnings, woke up and there was like nothing left. I was in danger of getting a margin call. Now, what I didn't realize at that time is even if MSTR did take a dump, I probably didn't need to worry about it as much as I thought because as soon as earnings is over, they're just going to go back to the original algorithm, and that if I wasn't in a margin call before earnings, I was probably going to be okay anyway from a statistical point of view. Not to say that any type of crazy shit couldn't happen, but so I paired away like 100 shares of Tesla because they have such a favorable margin requirement. It only cost me like, I don't know, 25% or something, maybe a third of the cost of 100 shares was only counting against my buying power. But that just means that the other two-thirds was counting against me as margin use. So I was not taking that into account. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm able to preserve a bunch of buying power by adding Tesla shares, but the benefit to my buying power was actually a net negative to my margin use. And my goal over the next year is to either sell enough covered calls to have no margin in use, or I will have to peel off a few precious shares. And, you know, not financial advice, but if MSTR is trading at $1,000 a share, I really won't have to peel off very many in order to come up with six figures of margin debt. But anyway, here's the hack. I don't know if it's a hack or whatever, but if I sell a covered call, even at the money for next week, I'm only going to get an increase in buying power, pretty close to what I'm collecting as a credit. But this guy's like, if you buy a put, it protects your account. And so this is just a 5 DTE call. This probably be the cheapest I can find. But even if I go way down to like 150, which that would be pretty cataclysmic if MSTR dropped that much. But for $37, that will increase my buying power by 4,000. That's like 100x. So if I just buy 10 of these for 370 bucks, I can get like a 1 week rental on my buying power. So I'm super psyched about this. And let's see, this is the 27th. Yeah. So Monday morning when I wake up, I'm assuming that my buying power is going to be majorly reduced. And I am considering just maybe paying a couple $100 and just kind of protecting myself over the over earnings. I normally hate to buy puts for I don't really I'm already I'm already limiting my upside by selling covered calls against things. I think I only have 5 covered calls on right now out of 2200 shares. But I feel like I'm already limiting my upside enough that I don't like buying insurance. But this is just seems like way too good of a deal. And I really only even have to hold this for just a few days. So to give me a little bit of peace of mind and not have to, you know, I don't want to have to like sell 100 shares of MSTR just to compensate and give myself breathing room on buying power when I can just buy buy 10 puts. And I did play around with the strikes a little bit because that was at the what? That was the 150 strikes. But this is the same. So $8 at the 100 strike is increasing my buying power by 800. So again, this is like 100x buying power protection here. So looking forward to that. This is going to be a quickie. The only other thing that I'm going to discuss is Monday. I will probably load up on a few more of these bad boys. So Jeff discussed this historic expiration date, and my way the hell out of the money calls are nowhere even near the same ballpark that his are. His are like way in the money at this point because he bought them like a year and a half ago. But I went ahead and bought 5 of these long calls, far out of the money as I could get them for January 2025, not necessarily assuming that they'll be in the money and I can exercise them, but maybe by the end of the year, if a big move happens, um, I mean, hell, it's done a 4x in 5 weeks before, 5, 6 weeks. So it's not out of the complete realm of possibility that, MSTR couldn't 4x from here. However, let's just take a look at the chart a little bit. But it's already, so it went to 200, corrected to 100, and now it's been trading within a range. So what if we only get a 4x from the bottom? 4x from here might get what, to 480. So it's already 2x from there. And if it 2x's again, that gets us close to that strike. So in order to be able to exercise them would need a bit more. But the point is that if it happens fast enough, I won't necessarily have to exercise them, but could maybe just sell them early on a pump. So I am thinking about taking a few more positions here and being able to buy just a couple of puts kind of justifies being able to do that over earnings because I don't want to like another 5 of these. It's only about 3 grand. Anyway, I don't want to do anything too crazy before I see the damage that Tasty Trade's algorithm is going to do to my buying power here. So we'll see. But big shout out to the YouTube comments. Taught me a little something about gaming the system a little bit with these protective puts, because that's a huge buying power saver over the next 3 days when Tasty Trade's going to try to save me from myself. All right, I think that's it for now. Be good, Joe.